Welcome to this cardboard circuit video, and today we're going to build a microbit module. So it's going to be a controller. That's the microbit. It's a microcontroller, and it is going to drive a MOSFET, which will allow to turn on and off a circuit with big current on this one, controlled by the tiny current of the microbit. So this will allow, for example, to do music, or maybe drive a motor, some cool stuff like that. We'll need some cable tools, some scissors to work the cardboard, glue gun, pens. Controllers are yellow, and also because it's an output, I'm going to put some green too. You're going to need some wires which have female connectors. That's going to be to attach the MOSFET, and then a few binder clips. USB, micro USB cable to provide power for the microbit, and one what's called that? That's a flat Phillips with nuts screw, and it's a 6x32 size, and that's going to be to attach the microbit, the cable to the microbit. Okay, so we're going to start cutting out a board of reasonable size. Do that. On that. So the idea is that we're going to have the microbits sitting here. We're going to have, let's put them, our ground here. Get the positive here. We're going to get power through that, and then connect it. We'll have the MOSFET, and then we'll have another pin here. So I'm going to cut out as well here. Get the size right. Okay, it's a rough idea. Well, that's the game plan. That's how it's going to look like. Okay, so there's a few things we need to do. We need to cut this one out and strip him so that we can power it. So the microbit is a 3-volt board, and we're going to power it with many different voltage. So it has a regulated power here that supports USB. So we're gonna use that. So I'm gonna strip this cable here and use that as our power supply. So I'm gonna strip it all the way. And make sure you still have a micro USB cable in order to program the microbit, otherwise that's not going to work. Here we go. Try not to destroy the cable. So this is going to go like this, and then we're going to keep enough cable. Doesn't cut well. Let's see. Strip him, and that's going to go. So I'll assume the white one is the ground and the red one is the positive. In fact, let's mark those so we know. It's going to be positive. It's going to be negative. That's going to go on the positive side. One goes to the motor. All right. Now, to hold the microbit in place, what I'm going to do is going to build a little platform under it, and it's going to have to be kind of the width from this side where it touches the joystick connector, so the white connector, to the white line. So I want to kind of mark that and then cut the platform. I'm going to do it in a way that I don't have to glue the microbit, and I can actually have it tucked in. And also I need to be able to put my my bolts there. So let's get a few layers of these. That's a bit too long, so I'm going to want to have just enough on each side. But I want to be able to route some cables around them. So I'm probably going to remove, if we keep that amount, that's pretty good. I'm going to mark the other side. Okay. And cut this out. I'm going to position it again. Sounds pretty good. Okay, so I'm going to mark this. And then I'm going to go ahead and glue it. Gluing the cardboard on my fingers. Thank you. Okay, so now we have to make sure the microbit doesn't run away. And then one thing we can do, which is quite fun, is to build little arms on the side of that will clamp into the buttons. So I'm going to show you what I mean by that. I'm going to cut 2 pieces of cardboard, and then I'm going to cut enough so that I could slide it around the button. So that's the idea. Same thing on the other side. That way I can secure the microbit without gluing it. If I have to remove it to build another module, I can reuse it. Okay, then we just put one here and put one there. And it should be fairly easy to remove it. The screen is still accessible. It's a bit hidden there, so I'm gonna, there we go. Gonna trim it up a bit. And also have access to the pins because I'm gonna have to work on that. Very nice. Okay. Now, let's take a look at the MOSFET. In order to connect the MOSFET, we're going to use these female cables. So the first pin is the gate. That is going to be connected to pin 0 on the microbit. So I'm going to cut this in two. I'll strip this. And I'm going to connect that to the MOSFET. Now this is a bit tricky, kind of have to play around. I was lucky this time. Okay, so this guy's gonna have to connect to here. Now there's no real easy way, and that's where these bolts come into play. So I'm actually gonna remove, well, actually I can keep it. So I'm gonna go ahead and put the cable in the hole and put the bolt. So since I want to work on that, it's going to be easier to remove the microbit. So I'm going to do is put the cable in, slide in the bolt, and you have to go from the front. This is very important. I will show you why. And then bolt it down. This is probably one of the easiest way to get a cable attached to the microbit. And then here, bolt it in the other side. Make sure it's like nice in the middle so it doesn't interfere with the other pins. It's nice and tucked and there's a good connection. The trick is that the back of the edge connector is, the pins are not connected. You'll see there's a little gap. Only the rings are connected. So although my nut here is touching both the sides of the first and second pins, it's okay, it's not shorting. So I got a good connection. That's what I wanted. It's gonna have to dig itself into the cardboard because I took some nuts that were a bit too long, but that's okay. I have to connect two more things. So we're gonna have the drain, and drain is gonna go to my positive terminal, and then we're gonna have the source, which is gonna be my ground. Okay, now I'm gonna cut those full length so that, although maybe I don't have to. Let's see. Maybe if I put him here, this one is gonna go here. This one is gonna go here. Okay, so I need I need my ground to be a bit longer. This one can be short, so I can reuse it for another module. Okay, so let's put back the microbit in the slot, and we could further add a little rubber band. See, now it's not wanting to go in because there's the screw, so I'm just gonna have to poke through the cardboard. There we go. See, it went through, that's okay. And then the idea is that this cable is going to go here, and this cable is going to go and connect the microbit power. So I'm going to take these two cables, thread them together, and then attach them to the binder clip. There we go. And that one doesn't. That one goes here. So I think we got everything connected. That's the idea. So now we want to kind of figure out what's the best way to attach all these things. And route the cables. So we're going to add one little rubber band so that things don't move so much. And I'm not gluing yet. I'm gonna have to do some testing to make sure I got it right. The MOSFET could nicely tuck him in on the side. So I'm gonna put a drop of glue here. I'm just gonna glue the MOSFET right here. And then we'll figure out how to nicely route this this gray cable. Seems that we can just tuck him in there. So we got 3 cables ready, and we can start programming. So I'm going to upload a little program and then test the module, but this is pretty much done. In fact, let's finish the module as we speak. So to finish it, you're gonna add a second layer. So this is the usual thing. We're gonna remove the back here, add a second layer, add the colors as usual.